Hello, everyone, and welcome into episode 83 of the Illiana Stock Car Radio Podcast. Jeremy Banning here with you, as always, alongside Brian Goodacre. Brian, you forgot somebody.
Yeah, we're flying the missing man formation for Dale Earnhardt's 12th death anniversary. Chris is a little under the weather. Yeah, words are still hard.
Words are still difficult. Nothing's changed.
That hasn't changed. But yeah, Chris is a little under the weather, so he decided to stay home. So now we're shouldering the brunt of all this on our own.
I know, yeah. We didn't want to catch his cooties, so we exiled him to home. But we, as they say in show business, the show must go on. So
he was still involved. I called him. He helped me set up the camera.
Yeah, photographer guy couldn't figure out the equipment, so
Hey,
that will reflect poorly on your yearly review.
Yeah, boy. There goes my raise.
Yeah. Well, we're done. What's a percentage of nothing? I don't know. That's I think what we get paid for this.
0.
All right.
0 of 0.
So
A lot's happened.
Lots happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The episode before that, you were not here,
I was not present. No.
Yeah, you were busy doing your husbandly duties, which we'll give you the pass on that one. Roll back the
clocks, and Kelsey and I enjoyed a nice birthday dinner for her 2 weeks ago, and last week enjoyed a nice Valentine's dinner. And
look at you go, husband of the year.
Sure, you can say that.
Husband of the month, maybe. Husband of the 2 weeks. Either way, we'll give it to you.
It's a short month, so I got the shoe in.
Yeah, well, we'll take it either way.
Yeah.
Speaking of the short month here in February, we're getting that spring-like weather.
Yeah, beautiful. Shorts.
I know, he's in
Surprised
shorts.
I got a shirt on.
A long sleeve shirt and shorts. That looks about right.
Yeah, well, it is comfortable.
We'll go with comfort.
Yeah,
we'll go with that. I've seen the memes out there about Indiana weather.
There's always that one guy that wears shorts when it's 30 degrees.
So there's that. So that's obviously clearly you.
Yeah.
And then also where it details like the actual 12 seasons we have here
in a week.
Yeah. So I think we're at full spring right now with today being 60-some degrees outside, but it's got us itching for race cars.
Certainly.
Certainly. No better way to itch race cars and feed that itch than to talk about racing tonight.
That's right. We're talking about it.
So got some major guests on the show.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
So happy to have them. Happy to have Bob Swartz and Jake Straka in here, the Pit Pals, as they're affectionately known, of the Shady Hill Speedway.
The two most the two most active communicators of our listening group.
So for everybody out there that wants more dirt content, these are the guys behind it.
These are the guys. I'm standing there with my camera on the pitch trying to take some pictures, and next thing I know, I've spent 30 minutes talking to them about trying to get more dirt content. So might as well make them do it, right?
I know. Be careful what you wish for, because you might just have to do it yourself.
That's right.
So looking forward to have them on here in just a few minutes, and then we'll kind of review Speed Weeks down in Florida, and maybe give us an update of the Winter Nationals, everything that happened over there, and then kind of recap some of our upcoming events that we've got going on here that we want to highlight. So I think without further ado, maybe because they're here and they're impatiently waiting, so I think maybe we should bring them in. All right. So let's go ahead and bring in Bob Swartz and the Hebron Hustler, Jake Straka, to the Illiana Stock Car Radio Podcast. Well, Brian, got our dirt guys here.
We did it. We got them on.
The Pit Pals.
No more complaining out of you two now.
Yeah, Bob Swartz and the Hebron Hustler, Jake Straka. Jake Lakeshore.
Oh, Lord.
So Jake, you got nicknames. Do we have a nickname for Bob yet? Does he got a nickname? Are we on that status with Bob yet? He's got a nickname.
We got an opportunity.
Yeah.
Tonight could be a good night.
Yeah.
Give us some good content. Dirty Bob.
Dirty Bob.
Dirty Bob.
That could be taken many ways.
Well, it's up to you to own the nickname and make it whatever you want it to be. That's really
we can make that into a T-shirt. I know a guy. Might take me 6 months, but I know a guy.
Yeah.
Coming in strong at the end of the season.
Then the next season, probably. All right. See, this is off the rails already. This is great.
They wanted dirty content. We're trying to give them dirty content.
Well, I'm just happy that the prodigy of Hebron racers is alive and well.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't carry the torch very well. So at least somebody is.
Yeah. We got a few top 10s, a few DNFs. But he's showing up every week.
Why does he highlight the DNF? So,
hey,
you did not slip this guy enough money, did you?
Follow me to the B-main, man. You got to laugh at yourself if you're going to laugh at others.
That's words to live by. Oh man, this is the way it's getting started. So obviously, natural that we kind of want to start with both of you guys is just your stories about how you guys got involved with racing. Period. I kind of know a little bit about each of you, but kind of not the full story. So I'll let you guys Rochambeau to figure out who wants to go first. But
Rock, paper, scissors.
You're better than me. Go ahead.
All right. So I wore the throwback shirt. It all started at Illiana Speedway. I started going there, in the end of high school there. And I went to Crown Point Speedways for years with my dad and my grandpa and whatnot. But it closed down and started going to Illiana. And you know how it is. You add all the racers on Facebook. So I became friends with Ryan Lagasty, and one thing led to another. I ended up becoming friends with him, and he let me run his enduro car at an open practice, and I think I got passed by everybody multiple times. But I was hooked, and it all started from there, and I drove his car. Those were the good days. You know, I drove his car on Saturday. I'd show up to his house with, like, some donuts, and I'd mow his grass, and then I drove his race car. That's all it cost. It was much cheaper back then. So,
dude, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
I'll sign up for one of those.
Yeah, so it all started from there, and I think 10 years later, here we are. So,
Yeah, I mow your grass. Can I drive your car?
sure.
Bob, what about you? So I know there's an RC car tie-in, at least a little bit.
Oh, a little bit.
So I kind of got to hear the Paul Harvey style, the rest of the story a little bit.
I've been around racing almost my entire life in some aspect. Race go-karts, dirt bikes. Got into RC when I was like 13, and it went pretty heavy for a while. Then tried drag racing. That's cheaper than dirt racing, at least when I was doing it. And then I went back to RC because it's way cheaper. Then I started pitting for Donnie Rance. And next thing I know, we're building me a car in his garage. And it's been pretty much downhill since then. I think that was
Downhill.
18.
Yeah.
It was 18 it got started somewhere. And
Time to let the dog out.
Time to let the dog out, I guess.
Duty calls.
Yeah, I know, right? Stuff happens, literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to hear you guys' story. Obviously, I remember seeing you at the stands at Illiana all the time.
Yeah.
I think at one point, we even tried to recruit you for the S4
Yeah,
group,
you
but
and Shiloh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you were well tied in with the Dutch Mafia pretty close to that point, or at least getting in.
Yeah, well, you didn't want me anyways. I didn't know nothing about cars, so.
Neither did
Old
half the
Lagasty,
guys we got.
he-
so.
He bit off more than he could chew with me, I think. He, I could barely change a tire, I think, back then, so he did a lot for me.
Yeah, well, it's always good to have the mentors. Even growing up in Hebron, hell, I had that too. One of our neighbors, Scott Chesky, ran at South Lake Speedway.
16X?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he was our neighbor. He helped me quite a bit. Towed me when I got my first street stock. Towed me there and almost burned down his trailer. That's a great story. Luckily, we got the car out in time. Got the fire put out. But yeah, he helped me. Then brother-in-law Donnie Pettit. So
Yeah.
always got the connection in there. So
Yeah. Speaking of brothers, I know one of your top fans is Wayne Straka.
Oh, yeah.
And he is hands down the most animated fan I think I see up in the stands.
Yes.
At least for the modifieds.
Yeah, he, you know what? Back when we used to go to Crown Point Speedway, he really wasn't into it that much. But once I started racing, he really got into it. So it's fun. Now we go to a lot of races together and whatnot. So it's a good thing for us to have in common.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy when I see him post stuff about it on Facebook. I'm like, I don't ever remember you being
Yeah, he
involved,
wasn't.
man.
He goes to races without me now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
Look what you did.
yeah.
So go ahead, Chris. This is your deal. You're the dirt guy.
So
I don't want to steal your thunder.
Oh no. Good. I mean, whatever.
Anytime I
Naturally.
could have a night off, it'd be great.
Natural flow, right?
Sure.
We talk a lot about the relationships we build at the racetrack, and I know you two used to not really pit next to one another, but now I see on Facebook you're tagging each other in posts and making sure you guys get spots right next to one another. And it makes it easy for me because now I only have to stop at one spot to converse with people as they all come up to us. So we call this Pit Pals, and I think a big part of the night is the community that you have around you. And so I'd like to hear how you guys ended up kind of becoming Pit Pals.
I think my pit pad just became available.
Proximity, is that
Yeah.
what it was? I mean,
It wasn't the converted short bus.
Well, bought that for me.
Hell, I've only known
Finally
you
got a
for
newer family vehicle.
a couple of years. But no, we had a plethora of people pitting next to us, and then you got concreted in, no pun intended. So
Works out. He runs out of gas and uses our generator.
yeah.
Perfect. What else do you guys trade or share? Secrets?
We haven't
Meals?
traded paint yet.
I don't got any. I don't think we're good enough for any secrets. But yeah, no,
Secrets.
just
secrets.
camaraderie.
Good. I know you guys have a much larger group back there. I know Tim Sullivan Jr. and Riker Scheidler, Dutch Mafia's in the corner.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Ryan was he's got a sign hung up on the water post.
Yeah.
Water boy.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Because that involves you too, doesn't it? In your old truck?
Well, so Ryan, one of the nicest people in the world. So the water hose is right there. So whenever anybody overheats, they pull over there, and Ryan's always the first one to spray them off. So that's where that started. But yes, we had Joe's old Ford. Thing's got like 400-something thousand miles on it, and she got a little warm one day getting to the track, and then some photographer got a good picture of Ryan spraying it off. So yeah. Billy got him a sign, and it's his unpaying job over there.
Awesome.
Now you were telling us off camera, so we got to talk about it now since we're talking Dutch Mafia here. You guys like saddle up the horses every freaking weekend. It sounds like.
Yeah. So if you're ever driving down Route 2, about 1:30, 2 o'clock on a Saturday, there'll be anywhere from 3 to 6 race cars at my house, and we all leave out of there. Kind of convoy to the track, so it's fun. Everybody gets to hang out for an hour or so before the races, and all ride down there together. So we think we look cool going down the road. I don't know if we do or not, but it's fun. It's like you said earlier, racing's about your friends. So anytime you get to hang out with them more is good. So
I got to ask you about the short bus too. What's the story behind the short bus?
well, anybody that knows Joe Murphy, his wheels are always turning, and he's always trying to think of something. And campers are expensive.
Agreed.
So we were thinking about getting one of them and realized the cost was too much. So he was going to get like an ambulance at one time, and then
Been
a
there.
box truck. And actually Ryan, Jessica, Ryan's wife, works at North Newton School Corporation, and they were auctioning off some buses, and they told us about it. So we got a short bus, and Ryan actually got a full-size bus. So yeah, but it's great. It's we got some beds in there and a toilet and refrigerator and whatnot. So
So this is like converted, like a.
yeah, it's full-blown like
Nice.
camper. Yeah, it's an RV now. It got registered as an RV.
That
so.
there is an RV.
Right
Yeah.
there is an RV.
But it makes changing into your fire suit a little easier. Not
You
not
gave me
between
the
two
grand
doors.
tour last year, man. It's really nice in there. Yeah, Joe did a bang up job.
Yeah, he
Gosh,
did
I
good.
feel like that's an episode of like ISCR Cribs or something like that.
We could do it.
Dude.
We could do it.
Yeah,
I think what I love most about both of you guys is that you still rock the open trailers. Whether that's a financial decision or a personal decision, whatever it might be, I can appreciate it. As kids, we always enjoyed seeing cars going down to the track, and certainly would get anybody excited.
That's one of the biggest reasons why we have an open trailer. Oh, rain, that kind of stinks in that aspect.
Yeah.
But you pull up to a gas station, you see a truck pulling a box, you're like, what's in it?
Yeah.
You pull up to a gas station, you see a race car, you can make a kid smile.
Yeah.
They might come to the track.
Yeah.
And sports die if you don't involve people.
Right.
So I think my car can get wet if it's going to make somebody smile.
Well, it's going to be covered in mud about 2 hours anyway, so what's the
Mud?
difference, right?
Where?
Well, we water the track at Shady Hill. It does dry quickly. If you happen to be the first class out, you might get
Yeah, I
the,
try not to do that. I learned my lesson.
take it out for mud laps. You'll get plenty of mud.
Yes. It turns into hours of cleaning.
Yeah. So
Dirty.
Let's talk about that car. We like to talk about the past and our heritage in racing, and you have a pretty big shoes to fill, I guess. Big cockpit to fill. don't say that.
I wonder where that was going.
Oh, Bill was kind of a small guy.
I'm done. Send me home. Too much root beer.
Okay.
But yeah, let's talk about that
The
car.
rating on this show just had to change.
I actually was going to step down from street stock and get a bomber. So I went over to Mike's house, and it was sitting there for sale. And there was a guy from Michigan, kind of him-hawing around about it. And I was like, if it's still here on Friday, I'll buy it. Thinking it'll help Mike out, make the move to entice this guy to buy a car. Well, it didn't pan out that way. So instead of a bomber, I ended up with a modified. And it turns out that it was
Not just any modified.
pretty, in my opinion, a pretty important modified, at least in this area.
Yeah.
I don't want to tear it up,
Yeah.
but Buzzard says there's nothing you can kill on that car that I can't fix.
Challenge accepted.
There you go.
So there's a price of that, but
Yeah.
Right.
But
I can
it's-
fix this for this amount.
yes, that was why the car looked the way it did when it came out last year, because I didn't
Yeah.
want to take away from what that car is.
Yeah.
And I want people to know, like, Bill's not here,
But he's
here.
Yeah. And it's awesome to see. Chris Tippett, I think it is, has a replica late model. If I'm sure the thing could race. That he pulls out for shows and stuff. And I know Bill Davis had a long, very illustrious career racing at South Lake. Probably, what was it called before that? Broadway.
Yeah.
Broadway, yeah, right.
Take your boy.
I know
Track on
my
Broadway.
yeah,
Where
and
Buffalo
Shady
Wild
Hill.
Wings is now.
Yeah, and Kankakee, and really had a good a great career around here. And so I know that the older fans appreciate a Bill Davis star still.
I've
Bill
had people
Davis
come up to me
car
like, "Is
still
this
out there."
Bill's car? I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, it is.
Yeah,
And it's not the newest or up to date car, but it's fun.
yeah,
And I don't have the pockets to go buy a
a Sherman Enterprise.
Longhorn or any Leaf
Right,
or anything
right,
like that.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I just bought a car that I could go drive and have fun.
yeah.
And
I think that's what racing needs to get back to. Truthfully, quit buying the $1,000 shocks. Sorry, Jeff Cannon. Quit buying the. I don't know. I'm not. I don't own a race car. I don't build a race car. I just know shit's expensive. And I know those chassis are like. I think my brother was telling me like a Kyle Busch Motorsports car back in the day was like $80,000, like roller. Like why? No wonder like racing's drying up. We need to get back to the being able to afford a race car and all our bills and food on the table.
Well, that's why you're starting to see the Crown Vic class kind of pop up and
Yeah.
blow up everywhere because
I tell you
Crown
what,
Vics are everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude, that's got your name written all over
if
everything.
He said it last year on
if
Facebook.
Shady Hill brings the Crown Vic class, I guarantee you'll have at least 3 cars.
I'll put in a good word with Billy and Tammy.
I asked about it because they didn't have the
Yeah.
street stocks,
Yeah,
and he's like, maybe for a special night or something. I'm like,
yeah,
you can buy a race car for
Yeah.
$3,000.
yeah. Throw
Well, you'd have one.
some D's on it and go out there and get sideways, man.
5 of them.
I know Kankakee struggled, but it was their first year last year with it. They had 8 to 10. I know you were out there on Fridays. They only had 8 to 10 maybe.
Yeah,
on the Crown Vics.
I feel like by the end of the year they were renting some out. I feel like
Yeah.
they had a pretty good field by the end of it. So.
Yeah, I know Plymouth put on like a $2,000 to win Ford Factory Nationals, and that was the only race that they kind of ran sort of thing. And I know Grundy's pushing for it. I know it's creeping up out of the south up this way. And when you go to a junkyard, how many body frames or whatever the hell they are, how many of those can you find?
They're
drying
getting
up.
rare. And when they
Right?
are there, they're
Right.
in need of serious
You're at
repair.
the point now where all these chassis builders are starting to replicate them because you
Yeah.
can't find them anymore.
Yeah, money in their
Charging,
pockets.
10 times as much as you could actually probably get one for.
Right.
So.
A
Yeah.
bare chassis right now that's buildable is like $600 and up for the chassis. I mean, you're gonna use it. You're gonna use a lot of it anyway, but
Yeah.
you don't want one that's all clapped out either, because
Right.
that's not good.
Yeah.
I know I bought 3 chassis when we built my street stock to begin with. The first one was bent, the second was kind of hacked, and the third one was usable.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Let's talk about that real quick. Your move from street stocks to modifieds. How'd that go?
well, it's a lot different in a modified. I always describe it as the car's trying to kill you all the time.
Yeah.
I've never had to steer with the rear, as they say.
Would you agree with that, Jake?
That's Thomas
Is the
Mesereau
car
says
trying
that
to kill you?
all the time? The car's trying to kill you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's. I still don't have the handle on that car,
Yeah.
but practice, lack of time is the big thing with me,
Right.
with my kids and my business
Yeah.
and the home stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to go to the track for a day and just see what works, trying to get
Right.
everybody there to do that.
Yeah.
So
And just because
Saturday's
the track's
kinda it.
you get the track one way on a Wednesday because you're open, it's not going to be the same track on Saturday. You know,
Well,
it's
that's
not
the
like
thing with
asphalt
practice.
racing, where the asphalt doesn't change.
Not near as much.
Yeah, I know temperature plays a lot with asphalt and how the tires respond and all that. But yeah, let's talk about your jump. You made a big jump, Jake,
Yeah.
from going 55 miles an hour and thinking that's fast in a 4-cylinder at Illiana to winning a lot of 4-cylinder races at Shady Hill to straight up to modifieds.
Yeah, I don't recommend that. I feel like I had to unlearn. I was actually just talking to Ryan about this the other day. I feel like I had to unlearn a lot of stuff to where if I just started fresh, it probably would be a little better off. But no, they drive pretty different or completely different, really. And it took me a while. Like Guy Sutton, he moved up and he seems to be catching on pretty fast, a lot faster than I did, that's for sure. But it's just different. I mean, I remember like the first couple races, there'd be a guy in front of me, the car would be sideways and I'd be like backing out of the gas because I'm thinking he's going to spin out because that's what a 4-cylinder would do, But
Right.
that's just how the car drives. I mean, stupid little stuff like that. But yeah, obviously tons of power. You're steering. I mean, just nothing really translates over, and I don't think so. But yeah, no, it was a big jump. It's fun, definitely a challenge. So
Good. Still having fun?
Oh, always.
Good. That's what matters.
But we talked about this a little bit off camera though. You're not done with the 4-cylinder enduro stuff. I mean,
No, he's not.
I mean, that's kind of blowing up around here, and I know you made it on your note list. So you want to talk about
did.
enduro stuff?
I did.
Yeah.
He made
let's-
notes. He prepared.
Let's go into enduros because Kankakee's got one. Plymouth has at least one coming up to start the year off again. How many does Grundy have? Chris would know because
Only three.
Three?
Or four.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
four. Oh, because they got the three
They added
part of the
four.
series
I
and
think
they're
they
doing
added
the
fourth one this year
Bahama
for the
bracket
season,
thing.
yeah.
And Shady Hill has put an enduro back on their schedule after not having one for a few years. So let's talk about enduros,
Yeah.
you're like
Mr. Enduro.
you're not Mr. Enduro.
No,
Ryan
no, no.
Wagaste's
He's
Mr.
Mr.
Enduro.
Yeah. No.
He's
You're
like the
just his
king of enduro.
accomplice.
Let's call this the prince of enduro.
No, and enduros are not anything new, but they seem to be kind of taking off around here. So that's great. I've been going to enduros for years and years with Ryan. We'd go all over, and I just never did one until September of. It was the last one at Grundy in 2022, and I started off in one of Ryan's cars, and man, I was hooked. I mean, you get to race 200 laps, and whether you're the fastest car out there, the slowest car out there, you're constantly battling with people, So, seems like sometimes in the modified, you kind of end up riding around a while or whatnot. You maybe get to pass one or two cars, but the enduro, you're passing people every lap, and so it is a blast, and it's affordable. I always say a modified tire is like $190. I got 3 enduro tires delivered to my front door for like $140. So, you can't.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
I see the wheels turning over there.
Yeah, I mean,
you gonna get an enduro car?
What's the schedule here, Bob? We're gonna get you an enduro car this year?
I've been looking. He's gave me specific instructions on what to look for.
Go to Ryan Legacy's backyard and pick one out.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of.
It's like a car lot. It's
Yeah.
like which one can I get you in today?
Did his neighbors make him move them? I thought there was some neighborhood drama with those.
He's gotten really good at when he lived in St. John. He had stuff all over, but he's getting pretty good at hiding them. He's got the big barn now and whatnot.
Good,
so
good.
yeah, but Ryan is obviously the enduro goat for sure.
Yeah.
So if you have any interest in it, talk to him. Yeah, I mean, I got a schedule here if you guys want to hear it.
He's
Yeah,
got
shoot.
dates and everything
Yeah.
down
Shoot.
here.
All right.
Get put this on your calendars.
We got April 6th at Plymouth, May 11th at Grundy, July 11th at Grundy. Then you got
No,
to
that's
take.
July 7th.
They change it?
No, it says July 7th. You said July 11th.
Oh, July 7th.
There it is.
You can't read his hand.
I can't read.
Okay.
I did go to Hebron, so.
Yeah, I second that.
Then it gets dirty. We go July 20th at Shady Hill, back to Grundy on August 31st, back on some dirt September 6th at Kankakee, and then the Bahama Brackets or whatever. What was that race called?
Yeah,
The,
Bahama Brackets.
Bahama Bracket.
Yeah, October 19th at Grundy, and then a week later finish it off at Plymouth. So that's
Or
8
would it be?
enduros.
Would it be the Goblin?
That's what I was.
The
thinking.
Goblin
Yeah.
was the
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
one was
Bahama Brackets was just the bracket style
Yeah, yeah,
racing.
so it's the
My
Goblin.
apologies.
Yeah.
I messed that up.
So you got 8 enduros. That's like 1,600 laps for a car that's definitely affordable. I mean,
You
it's
think you could go from enduro racing 1,600 laps this season to being in a modified?
for 1,600 laps. It'd take me forever to run that many, but
Well, no, just the talent you might build in racing cars. I know Ryan has talked about running 4 cylinders. Your best bet is to just start doing enduros because you got to learn how to navigate traffic. And there's nothing more. There's no better description of Shady Hill 4-bangers class heading into turn 1 on their green flag than trying to figure out
Avoid
traffic
traffic.
on the expressway.
yep. I mean, just look at when Ryan races or Treptow or Tyler Wheaton. Them guys got thousands of enduro laps, and
Yeah.
they set people up perfectly and pass them, and it's an art. It's so yeah, it's enduro racing is it's alive and well, and it's great. So you should definitely check it out. So, well, my thought. So, Brian and Chris are gonna race.
Skip that thought.
No, no.
We gotta hear it.
So Christy Odom put up her
Yep.
car, and then I got mine, and you guys will have an exhibition race. I don't know how many laps. I'm sure Steve will let you do it. So, yeah. What do you think?
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
need
we've talked about
I'm
it.
gonna need a sponsor.
Sponsor. I'm giving you the dang
Give
car.
me the car, man.
What more do you want?
Well, in case I wreck it, I'd like to pay you back.
Yeah, I
for
do
it.
want to run the enduro afterwards. So
Oh, so now I gotta come out there on a Duro. At least I'll get some
Give
good
them like
photos.
a 5-lap match race.
yeah,
You know,
be like a heat race.
Yeah,
Forever bragging rights.
yeah.
Anything goes.
No.
What if I put them in the wall? You're walking home. Oh shit!
I mean, we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have Steve here on one of these next few episodes. So
Yeah,
we
there
just
we
start
go.
smoothing them over a little bit and make it happen.
Yeah.
I
You know
mean,
what?
it's
I'm
gonna
game.
take like
I'm
10
game.
minutes. It's like not gonna slow up the show.
I'm game.
Yeah. See, it'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Chris will be trying to hit his marks, and I'll be trying to hit him.
This is anything like RC. I have to be there.
Naturally, yeah. And there's got to be video proof of it.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna.
Yeah. So well, maybe that'd be a good October end of the year deal. And then you can do the Goblin.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. It's gonna be whatever Steve wants because he's gonna run the show. We're just gonna run the cars.
Yeah, I mean, even if they did it like practice or something like that, just give you guys.
Oh no, we want the stands full.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, that is a good. Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
a-
point.
I'm gonna make a trophy.
Got a race shop just across town with a bunch of old parts and stuff. We make trophies out of.
Perfect.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Or
that-
give you one of them little like small bowling trophies or something.
my favorite trophy I ever got. I did
Oh,
track
here
in
we
high
go.
school.
Non-flashback.
Yeah. I know we talk about racing. We're actually talking about racing. At the Valpo relays at the end of the year, we did did the whole event, normal track and field events. Last race of the night, Fat Man Relay. You have to throw varsity shot or disc to be part of this. Like, we're not going to bring in sprinters because that's no fun. We want to see these 250, 300-pound high school guys get out there and run. So we did it. I was part of the team, lead off. You know, I was a junior. We won and came down to the finish line, and they awarded us all this little probably 6-inch trophy with a little hog on top. And the middle is like a kind of like an edged wood almost, kind of groove wood, and kind of looks like a ham if you were to like cut it up, you know, before you stick it in the oven. And the bottom it says Fat Man Relay First or something like that. I just found it in a box I was going through the other night.
So
My
what you're
favorite trophy.
So what you're saying is Dirt Olympics. We need to get you in there, huh?
Well, I mean, we have a gold medalist here.
Stop
from what I
volunteering.
heard.
Yeah. Stop
Inaugural.
volunteering me for things.
Inaugural gold medalist over here.
Yeah. Not
Such
only
the
are you a top 10 modified race, actually, what'd you finish 11th this year?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Brian.
You are
Jeez.
a
You're not gonna
competitive
come back
crowd.
anymore.
one of our competitive UMP modifieds, but also a Dirt Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah. The very first one, it was a relay race, and I did nothing. Absolutely, I was the anchor, but we had such a big lead, I could have walked it in. So I got the interview and everything, but I didn't do any of the work. So
Good team player.
yeah.
But speaking of interviews, somebody here is Lakeshore TV famous around here.
Yeah, not only a Dirt Olympic gold medalist and a modified driver, but also
Do you have enough room on the
Lakeshore
pit pad
famous.
next to you with his ego over here?
you better start making them pay for yours.
You're right.
I didn't even think of that.
Johnny
Yeah.
Lakeshore over
Well,
here.
Oh lordy.
See, I have to sponsor his car, so there's a chance of getting my name out there on the winner's circle. So
Yeah.
I did notice that. Yeah, your mowing
Or
company.
at
is
least on
it.
Lakeshore.
Yeah. Well, it was out there, man. So
get so much business from that.
yeah, he's waiting for the royalty check too.
Yeah.
Waiting for that check to clear. Dude, how'd that come about? How'd they pick you out of everybody to do that?
Well, it was a little flawed. So I was at a
Stack the election, so it sounds like.
yeah.
Mail-in.
They mailed in the votes, yeah. Overnight mail-in votes. No, I was at a graduation party in Chesterton, and my friend David Ortiz introduced me to Tony, who was the individual that did the whole deal, and we started talking. But that was like 2 years ago, and then he was going to come out one night, and it rained out, and then he was going to come out another. That was the year that the White Lightning rained out like 3 times.
5 times?
5 times.
4 times.
Whatever
We ran
it
it the
was.
5th time, yeah.
Yeah, so
In August.
we gave up on that year, and I honestly forgot about it. And then Tammy reached out to me last year and was like, "Hey, they want to do it again." So yeah, I mean, they kind of just picked me because he met me, not because I was, Brad Young or anybody cool like that. But either way, it was still it was fun. Definitely different. Never did anything like that before, and I think it turned out good. So hopefully, it got some more people to the track.
Yeah.
I just prepped him to come on the best racing show in the region. That's about all.
That's
Well,
right.
Yeah.
It's just a warm up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was fun. Tony had never been to a racetrack like that before, and I feel like he really hit the nail on the head. Honestly, I was a little nervous. I was like, I'm hoping this guy doesn't portray this poorly,
Yeah,
because he
right.
doesn't really know much about this, but he knocked it out of the park. So it turned out good.
Was he the guy that did the filming?
Yeah.
Dude, he has some balls, or he just didn't know.
He might not have
You
knew.
know, 'cause he had an awesome camera, and he came down to me and introduced himself as I'm shooting outside turn 4, getting my good photos, and I saw him kind of like take a few steps over to like the edge of the wall, and like he's up there with his camera videoing, and these are sick clips, man. I've seen it a couple times now, and I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, holy shit, like these are gonna be cool, but like that's dangerous, and like obviously we've seen it now, and they did the drone work too, and there was a couple years some Japanese film TV thing was out there for that Bullet guy, Dave the Bullet, the first time he was there, and like I saw their heads pop over turn 2, and I'm just like, I don't think they know what they're doing, But I never saw that because I don't watch Japanese TV, so I don't know how that turned out. But Yeah, the Tony guy you're talking about, he did a great job with that.
Yeah, I've seen the clips and everything looked out good. And I tell you, he just pulled a Pat McAfee, man, just doing it for the brand.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
getting in there and making it look good. It looked sick, man. So
yeah.
it was awesome.
Now we got to get Bob on Lakeshore.
Yeah, yeah. Then it'll be Lakeshore Bob.
Lakeshore Bob, there it is.
There it is, Lakeshore Bob.
I wouldn't even know what to tell him. Other than it's that part where you said, like, yeah, you're only doing 75, but it feels like 150.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
it's true.
when you tell people you race, is that the first thing they ask you is how fast you go?
Yeah.
I got to answer that question like that's their number one question. How fast do you go?
That's
Then
it.
they want you to say like 200 or something, and I'm like,
I
80
think
maybe?
the natural progression is, well, they'll see your car, like at the car shows, like for us, they'll see your car. Where do you race? You tell them where you race. How fast does it go?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the next thing. Luckily, we don't race enough to get asked if we pee ourselves during the race. So, but other than
Yeah.
that, that's about
But
it.
they're always so disappointed when you tell them like, I don't know, 75, 80, like it ain't
Yeah.
that fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I do
How
that
long-
on
how
the
long-
highway.
Yeah, I do that on the highway.
Yeah.
I said, well, it could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour. Depends on how many wrecks there are.
Yeah, right.
First night in the modified, we went. There was no cautions. I needed a caution.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
We did
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Firecracker 50 this year was green and checkered.
Yeah, I heard a couple of the drivers talking afterwards, like, man, we need a. They're huffing and puffing when they got out in the out of the car in the pits. They got to be physically fit, you know.
That is another thing that people are like, how do you do it? And I'm like, you don't rest.
Yeah.
It's like the next day, like my shoulders and stuff, and people are like, well, don't you have power steering? I'm like, yeah, but you're moving the wheel. Like there's bumps. There's
you have to
Yeah.
move it.
It's not, smooth as glass. There's terrain.
It's terrain.
The track has
Good way to put
character.
it.
The track is
You know, it's the same track for everybody.
That's right.
Exactly.
And
That's
that,
right.
That is one
Exactly.
of the things that bothers me is people will go off on stuff and it's like,
Yeah.
move your line.
Yeah. Just like weather during a football game, they got to deal with it too.
It is what it is. Can't please everybody.
Right. Right. We're just happy to have a place to race and call home.
Yes.
Where we can go
People
have
will
some fun.
Complain and they're like, well, they shut. Well, you're bad mouthing people all the time.
Yeah.
Be happy you have a place to go.
Yeah. And
Support 'em.
I think that's been actually kind of big this past off season and last year. You know, East Bay's folded up shop. There's been a handful of tracks that have come out like we're not coming back. We're done this year. You know, and I think that's just another nail in the coffin for racing.
everybody's just so negative about everything anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
Face
we're supposed to be fun.
social
man.
media.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Do a good job, they tell 10. You do a bad job, they tell 100.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
a business owner, so yeah, you get it.
Yeah. You missed that patch of grass.
Yeah. I want my money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you he does a good job because he did my lawn at least once.
He does mine
Front.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. My gate's not
Can't
aren't
get
big
much
enough.
equipment through a gate like that.
He doesn't
Just
do
a
mine, but
pusher.
I've seen his work, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else you got on your list there, Brian?
Oh,
What-
let's see
do we
here.
miss anything?
No,
I got a couple
I-
things here, but
I literally. I do have to thank Christina Murphy
Yeah.
for providing me with halftime intermission meals occasionally. I know Jake has brought down hot dogs to me one time, and he brought down a Italian beef. No, she walked it out to me because you were in the car. We had a red for something, and she brought me some Italian beef. Man, that it was money. It's just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Christina. I don't know if you're going to listen to this. Maybe Jake will force you to listen to it.
it's just that couple minutes right there. Just
She
snip
takes
that right out.
She takes good care of us. She
Yeah.
wants me to she's like, hey, just when you go out on the track, just drop this off to Brian. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Throwing a sandwich.
Yeah.
Just handing a hot dog out the window.
Yeah.
But
We talked about a hot dog cannon earlier this season. I feel like he just needs to have one in the
Yeah,
car.
because Fan Appreciation Night is
So
happening
we
again
just-
this year.
we
I
just
don't
put
have
one in
my
the car and he
schedule.
just,
We're
whatever,
doing
sub sandwich, whatever.
doing the
it
hot
is,
dog
just-
toss.
yeah,
the
the wiener toss.
it'll be the second annual Goodacre Photography Hot Dog Toss. Open wide.
Can we throw hot dogs out the windows in the cars?
oh, you're the one with the big cockpit. I don't know.
Can make room.
Oh man. Yeah, I think really we kind of covered a lot. I think we got some good content. We do wrap things up with our one positive comment. Man, I guess my brother gave me some germs.
Oh man. Oh, now I disinfect the
just-
microphone.
Oh boy. Anyway, we do our one positive segment where you guys share one positive of racing that has affected you. I guess I didn't roll that off right. One positive from racing that you've taken away. You know.
He's still learning. We got his training.
You're doing good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Thanks, Jake.
You want to go first?
I like second.
Okay. Like we mentioned earlier, is the friendships. I mean, racing's fun, but it's the friendships and everything that's what it's all about. I mean, I've met so many great people. I mean, probably 85% of my friends are from racing, probably, honestly. Yeah. And you just meet some of the nicest people. And it's funny, like, in racing, you can have a full-blown conversation with a 14-year-old and then followed up with a 65-year-old, and you're all racing together. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like, just everybody, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm drawing a blank, and now I'm nervous because I'm on camera. But no, it's
the friendships.
Yeah, I mean,
that
it's
you've
just
built.
Everybody's, in it together. You all have a common goal, and everybody will help you out. So, I mean, Brad DeYoung, a couple years ago, most people probably know this, but I didn't even know Brad. We raced together. I mean, I know who he was, but we broke a motor, and actually that's kind of how I met you too. But Brad reached out, and I borrowed his extra motor for like 2 nights or 3 weeks or something, and that's kind of people that are at the racetrack, people that barely know you and loan you a motor. I mean, that's not like loaning you a tire. I mean,
right,
it's a motor. Like, that's,
it's kind of an important piece.
Yeah, like we were dead in the water. We might have even closed up shop. I don't know, but so just the positives is you just meet so many great people of all variety.
It's a lot of variety.
What about you, Bob?
All right, your turn.
I would say the one positive is the track owners. I don't think they get enough thanks for what they do and what they provide. I've been to the hill on, non-race day events and stuff. They're out there working. They are doing stuff, and people kind of take it for granted sometimes.
They don't see it, and so
put the shoe on the other foot.
Yeah.
You have a 2-man crew basically trying to maintain that property. It's not easy.
Right.
I mean, I've had my crews out there, or crew, and it takes us a solid day, and that's what I do professionally. I mean, to do just that, and then they have their hands full.
Certainly.
So I think people need to be a little more thankful and understanding.
I know.
Be happy that you have a place to go.
Yeah. I know we talked to Billy Nippenberg last year, and one of the things he said was, putting the shoe on the other foot, and being a promoter, and kind of wishing he took back some of the things he said to then promoters when he was a driver.
I've been in the stands many times. I love watching just as much as I do racing, and you hear people going, "Oh, that's a piece of junk. This, that." Go offer to help them fix it.
Yeah.
Staying here and complaining is not going to fix it.
Right. I know last year we had the turn 3 light had fallen, so it was hanging down.
Oh, yeah.
So there was no light essentially, and Billy ran an extension cord and like a shop light, kind of like we have here, into turn 3 just so we could race.
Mm-hmm.
And by God, everyone had a good night. No one took the light out. We all finished on 4 tires, I think, that night. But
tires seem to be rough.
I
didn't know I could get a black flag with a flat left front.
Hey, Joe didn't have a left rear at all.
I know, for like 3 laps.
Yeah, he was passing cars.
That thing took off like a missile.
Cheating.
Yeah, on the fly.
Ejecto weight button.
Yeah.
it's one of those tips and tricks that they all got. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh yeah, there was that secret we were talking about earlier.
The trade secrets.
Yeah, you don't need a left rear
Detective
tire.
tire, cuz.
Yeah. So in addition to our one positives, obviously takes a multitude of people to get cars and whatnot to the racetrack, much less on the racetrack. So we give you guys the opportunity to thank your supporters, sponsors, whomever you got.
Well, you got to go first. You got like 100 sponsors.
Not 100, but it's
Right, 98. Then.
way more than
He's
I
got
ever anticipated.
He's got a list.
Jeez. I got King Hobbies. They've been with me before I started racing, real cars. Pate's Place, Make It Black Seal Coating, Buzzard Race Cars. He was with me before I had a Buzzard. He helped out a lot of my street stock. Pool Works, Windy Acres Trucking, TNT Tree Service, Jake's Feed and Garden, Performance Bicycle Works, Hoosier Metals, my wife and my dad. My wife, is her idea for me to get into this debacle.
Because she likes it.
She does, because she likes it. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
And my dad, if it wasn't for him, would not be doing this because I don't have the time to work on the car and get it ready. There's been many times us finishing stuff up on Saturday morning to go.
Yeah.
I remember on a Thursday, there was no motor in the car. We were at the track Thursday. We were at the track Saturday. Yeah. That was one of the first years in street stock. I blew up 3 engines in one season.
Oh, man.
I was determined to do something. I'm not sure what, but something. It was probably my sign to not do this, but
Here we are.
not good at signs.
Yeah.
All racers here, we're not all that bright.
How many times have you quit or said, "Oh, I'm taking a break," and then
Every
next day, next morning, you're out there working on it? It happens.
You know what? When I say it, when it stops being fun, I'm done. It's always fun.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I see happening is my daughters keep getting older for some reason, and they're wanting to do more stuff, and
Yeah.
I can't deny them what they want to do for what I want to do. So
We better get him in
the
car
time is,
then.
she wants a 4-banger.
Perfect. We're going to need another spot.
We
Sorry,
got
you got to
8
move down,
Duros
Riker.
here.
Looking at an enduro car. It's gonna turn into.
Yeah, awesome.
Don't
Excited.
tell my wife. I'll have it at your house.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
And Jake, what about you?
Well, after work, I started writing some stuff down, and we only got a couple sponsors, and then I started writing down some people, and I was like, man, there really is a lot of people involved, really, once you start thinking about it. And so, obviously, Joe Murphy, without him, I'm not even, he does so much for me, and so Joe and I own the car together and whatnot, so he without him I'm nothing. So definitely want to thank Joe and Christina Murphy. Then sponsors, my Uncle Steve, he's been with us from the beginning pretty much. Century 21, if you're looking to buy or sell your home, call Uncle Steve. Miller Pizza,
Conflict of interest, but okay.
I'm not gonna go there. Miller Pizza, Elsie Goldberg. She's new to coming out to the track. She came out early last year and really enjoyed it. And I think she come out 4 or 5 times and ended up sponsoring us. So big thanks to her. Of course, Bob, After Hours Mowing. So mowing, snow removal when it actually snows, and small engine repair. Yeah. He does it all. Give him a call. Todd,
that's a good slogan for you.
No, yeah, you have to pay for that.
does it all.
Does it all? Give him a call. Dirty Bob.
Dirty. Why do I see that happening?
It's happening. It's a thing now.
Todd and Brendan Sherman. They my chassis is a Sherman Enterprise car, so big thanks to them. They're very helpful, very nice people. They always pick up the phone. Matt Ryan, we got a Ryan motor. Matt's great. Same thing. He'll pick up the phone, and whenever we're there, he treats us like family. Jeff Cannon, taking care of us with the shocks. Mark Van Drunen. Mark has done so much for me all the way back in my 4-cylinder days, way before he had the full auto store. I mean, he's been helping me. He's pulled me to the track. I mean, he's done everything for me. Lenny Combs really got us rolling good when we jumped into the modified. Joe and I were pretty clueless, so Lenny helped us out a lot. Brad DeYoung, like I said earlier, he's done so much for me. And my parents, so when I actually first started racing the 4-cylinder, I still lived at home, and my mom had a new Ford, and it was in the driveway because my race car was in the garage. So big thanks to them and my brother. We talked about him earlier. I got a lot of aunts and uncles that always come out to the track. My Uncle Bud, shout out to him. He actually just had surgery and removed part of his leg, so maybe we can get him a parking spot like right up close. I'll pull some strings with Billy.
There's a few saved over
He's
there.
always there. So Carl, the Harmons, my friends, I mean, a lot of supporters. We are spoiled. I'm not just saying that because you're here, but a lot of tracks, their photographers are par. You guys are great. I mean,
Thank you.
so thank you. Billy and Tammy, obviously, keeping the track going. Mike and Randy in the infield, unfortunately, I visit them often, so they're great people.
Yeah.
And then John in the parts trailer, I visit him often too, so
Yeah.
thanks to them. You know, a lot of those people kind of go unnoticed, but they're there helping you out every week, so big thanks to all them.
Parts trailers are a lifesaver.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's got everything in there. I went to Fairbury, and everybody thinks Fairbury's like this immaculate place because it is. It's a beautiful place.
It's
but
great marketing.
I went to their parts trailer. They didn't even have hose clamps.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess hose clamps is a pretty easy thing.
So John's got everything. So if you're ever in a bind, go see John.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the line up there. You know, guys getting gas and getting things ready. I don't really see it because I'm in the infield, so I imagine there's a line after some of those heat races.
Yeah.
You know, we need a.
Or when you get to the track and realize you forget your spark plugs at home.
Those are important.
Yes. And I was like,
Did you forget all 8 or?
I forgot my extras and it needed them.
Oh.
So it's one of those I had them and forgot to put them in the pit box.
Yeah, we definitely need to thank all the supporters of racing. You know, keep this thing going so we can keep having fun and keep the long line at the parts trailer.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring a friend. Come to the races.
Yeah, get an enduro car. Keep it at Jake's.
Well, speaking of fun, guys, we've had fun with you guys on the show.
Yeah, were we dirty enough? Dirty Bob,
Wild.
Dirty Bob, and
Well, you're talking
Lakeshore
about
Jake.
large cockpits and everything else. I got started us
Sidetracked.
off.
Hot dog
We
launch.
got sidetracked right away.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
thanks guys for coming on the show, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for having us. It was fun.
Oh yeah, maybe another time.
All
We
right,
should get Jake out to the RC track.
we should. We'll work
Yeah.
on that. Didn't you get him out already? Wes?
I've told him there's car. I'll buy a car. for
Chris
him.
has 4. Use
Yeah,
one
Chris
of
has
those.
got 4. And, yeah.
Well, Joe and I did come out, and I did test his car a little bit, and it didn't go good. So
Doesn't go good for any of us.
It does, yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
you're
none of us are
used
really
to-
good.
You're used to turning right to go left. I get it.
I don't know. I hit the inside wall, the outside wall. I flipped the car over. It's
What did you
yeah.
break?
I think I knocked the car off the
That's
table.
That's a
at one
normal
point.
night.
Yeah, he hasn't seen you race yet.
No, I do all that and still somehow win.
Yeah, it's true. There's photographic evidence. So we'll get him out there. We'll work on it. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Hey, I think after you and Chris have your race, that
Yeah.
me and Bob will interview you guys.
Sure.
We'll come back on the show and
Yeah, you can interview me in Victory Lane. Suck it, Chris.
oh,
Shots
man.
fired, man.
Of course, he can be like, yeah, because you're coming to take a picture with me who won.
He ain't here to say that.
That's right. He's not.
Yeah, he's not here to defend himself. So
That's right.
So we'll have to just table this until after it happens.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we'll circle
Let
back
the
around.
suspense build.
Yeah.
See you in
always,
October.
Always leave them wanting more.
That's
Another-
right.
So that's a second showbiz tip tonight.
Boom.
Boom. So on that, yeah. So guys, thanks for coming on, and look forward to seeing you guys at the track this year. And I'm not done seeing you yet at the RC shop. Yet
Oh, yeah, I'll
this
be
year.
back.
So
He's there
we'll do that. We'll get to Shady Hill, see you around. Maybe some
We'll
of those
see you at the
enduros,
RC
and
shop.
then- yeah. And so look forward to 2024 with you guys.
Awesome.
All right. Did we get dirty enough?
I hope so.
I was talking about cockpits and everything else. I think
Hot dogs and
hot
open
dogs
wide.
and- yeah.
Getting dirt. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But, hope everyone enjoyed the extra dirt content there. So those are the champions here of the dirt content.
Yeah.
The call for more of it. So
Yeah.
good stuff with those two. Never a dull moment.
No. And, I mean, we're going to have more stories to tell.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of staying tuned, we do have some upcoming events we're going to talk about here in a minute. But this past weekend, NASCAR got started. Daytona Speed Weeks.
Yeah, Speed Weeks are over. Race season is in full swing, and we're just a little bit over a month out from first practices and the April 6th Enduro, which we'll see Jake Straka at.
Yeah.
Touching up on Winter Nationals, seemed like the DeYoungs and Kittle kind of struggled down there a little bit. Brad seemed to have the best performance. Ultimately broke a piston and ended up 41st overall.
Rough.
So a decent start ended up being a bad finish where the bottom kind of fell out. But looks like they had a good time at the beach and doing other things that racing wasn't really a part of. So.
Probably enjoyed their time down there a lot more than we enjoyed ours up here.
You know what? We got great weather.
We did.
They brought it back with them, I guess.
Yeah, we'll take it either way.
Yeah, they rolled right into Daytona, and this is probably the first year in a while that I got to watch everything. I didn't watch qualifying, but I watched the duels there, and I watched the truck race while we RC raced, and ARCA was right after that, and then everything washed out to Monday, and I think I got home and showered, and it dawned on me as I'm sitting there scrolling Netflix, what am I doing? The race is on. So I
there you go.
Got to watch the 500 and ended up falling asleep probably halfway through the Xfinity race.
Yeah, I kept doing one of those. About 30 to go, I'm dozing off. 20 to go, I'm dozing off.
Yeah.
Like 10 to go, I'm just sitting there like, I got to finish it. Got to finish it.
But yeah, they were...
But speaking of the ARCA race, so shout out to Alex Club,
Yeah.
Club Racing. He's been on the show before, and I'm sure we'll probably try to get him on here again. Came home top 10, man. Survived the madness in the ARCA race Friday night. So cool deal for that little team. Grundy's own, Morris's own. So shout out to them for that, for coming home with a good finish and a clean race car.
Yeah, it's awesome to see local guys go out of the local area and perform.
Yeah, so that was awesome. Hopefully we'll get Alex back on here this year. You can kind of talk about what all they've got going on there at the Club Racing.
They had two cars.
They did have two cars there, and I think they had to, even end up pillaging some cars parts off one because they were having some issues. But they still got Alex's car out there and came home 8th place finish. So
yeah, that's
good,
awesome.
Yeah, so good on them. Like you said though, that means race season is swinging into full gear here. You guys got swap meet coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we got so this weekend, Saturday the 24th at Jasper County Fairgrounds in Rensselaer, Indiana, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can find us there along with the slew of other vendors. This will be our first time, so I'm excited to see what it's about. It does say no alcohol, so that's a buzzkill, but hey, that's fine. We'll spend all our money sober on race parts, right? Or old Shady Hill pictures. Come on down. Speaking of that, TJ already knows because obviously I had to talk with him. But for all of our listeners that are concerned about TJ Larson's shirts, they are done. They're off to print. Hopefully I have them Saturday. I don't know how many he sold. I know how many he ordered, but they may be next week. Schedule didn't quite line up like I was hoping it would. But hopefully Saturday, probably next week. We'll get it figured out.
Then coming up March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, Chicagoland Memorabilia and Collectibles Show, the Racers Reunion, the Will County Fairgrounds, Peatone, Illinois. We'll be out there for that. I believe our next episode here will be previewing that, and then we'll do, as we've done the last couple years, a special recording at the show, and then it'll come out the week after.
Yeah, as Chris always says, Vaughn told people to sit down and talk with us.
Yeah, that's kind of the revolving door roundtable, keeps us all on our toes. So
exciting for this year. We've been there before, had our stuff. We now are bringing the Andy Grod collection that Dad purchased and left us to sort. And by us, I mean really Chris, Mom, and Aaron have put most of the work in. I have slave labored over there a little bit. But yeah, we're getting that ready to bring. So I guess we're going to bring 2 vehicles, I think, this year and bring all that stuff. And sounds like we might be up front this year.
Wow.
So exciting for that, too. We get to see a lot of people. I know Chris posting the Grundy stuff, the anti-grad collection to Facebook has gotten quite a bit of response, and a handful of people have reached out, asking to go through them, and well, come on down to Peatone, Illinois. We'll be there.
Yep.
So will they.
Yep, so that's a preview from Goodacre Photography right there. A nice little promo and segue in there. You can find Goodacre Photography on Facebook and Instagram and goodacrephotography.com. I know Chris is doing a lot of website stuff kind of behind the scenes, so it might be some construction there at the website. Might have to, knock the dust off, but
if all else fails, just message me.
Yeah,
message him.
Message Brian, message Chris if you guys need anything. Also, with the Goodacre design aspect of it, it's about time to start designing race cars and shirts and hats and everything else.
I got a few wraps in line. I've got a line growing for T-shirts that I promised to do quicker than I did with DJs. But yeah, he was happy with how they turned out, and Rome wasn't built in a day. Yada yada yada. Whatever excuse I can come up with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they turned out well. He's very excited for them, and I'm sure that we're gonna do another run of them.
So a lot going on with Goodacre Photography and Goodacre Design. As far as the podcast here, Illiana Stock Car Radio, you can find us. If you're watching this, you probably found us on YouTube. So if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. That helps us out and helps all the good algorithms and everything like that. Hit the bell, get notified when we drop new content. We've been doing that a little bit more regularly this year so far than in previous years. So we're staying on that. Dusted off the Instagram a little bit this week, kind of playing around there. We got in the bio of our Instagram now, put a new link tree out there so you can find all of our links there.
Spicy links.
Spicy links.
Dirty links.
Yeah.
Or dirty links.
Yeah, for Dirty Bob. Got the dirty links out there. So we got that. Obviously, Facebook, Instagram, at Illiana SCR. Again, the YouTube page for the video aspect of it. But if you can't, you're on the go and you want to listen to the audio, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Hell, you just put us in Google search engine, type Illiana Stock Car Radio. You'll find somewhere to listen to us.
Did you have a one positive?
My one positive, you know what? Just for the increased dirt content, man.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a good positive. Yeah. Kind of broadening the horizons a little bit, getting out there, and you know what? I want to have two positives.
Okay.
The idea of you and Chris match racing each other, it's just it makes me giggle a little bit. So I'm there for it. I'm good. I can see the special episode now. It just writes itself. So
we're gonna have to put the little cameras,
GoPros.
The GoPros, I'll be giving him the bird as I drive past.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Well, you got one positive before we close
I
things
actually
up.
have two, and I did my homework, so I don't have to sit here and look
go.
aimlessly into the ceiling to try to figure one out since I missed last week. First one is just the beautiful weather. It's race season, man. I'm in shorts. Worked in shorts today, delivering beer. It was awesome. Working on my tan a little bit, so we're gearing up for summer. Great weather. Certainly right around the corner. And my second one positive is 2024 is looking really up for us right now through the design stuff, the photography, going through the grad collection. So I'm very excited there with the business side of things. But actually for us at Illiana Stock Car Radio podcast, I think we might be trending upward as well because of the dirty content we've been doing. It appears in the foreseeable future going to continue to do with a recent commitment, and I'm very excited about that. And I think we're going to turn a corner, and I think we're gonna grow quite a bit this year.
Well, that's what we do here. We turn corners as long as we're going left.
That's right.
That's kind of what we do. So if you've made it this far, I want to thank you guys for sticking with us, watching the entire episode. I want to thank our guests that we've had come on today, Jake Straka and Bob Swartz. Hope you enjoyed them. We enjoyed having them on here, talking to them. Not the last time you guys will see them here on the show, we hope. So thank them for that. Again, hope you enjoyed the episode. Chris, we hope we carried the baton without you, buddy.
We missed you.
Yeah. So
thanks for taking the phone call so we can get set up.
Yeah, exactly. So this one goes out to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Hopefully we made you proud. So for Brian Goodacre and myself, I want to thank you guys again for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Illiana Stock Car Radio.